Hello everyone, Zio on this side. So today hand we are dealing with a topic called as mechanism of breathing. Okay, it's called as mechanism of breathing. So basically, breathing involves two stages called as inspiration and expiration. Okay, so let's get started. Here, inspiration is a process during which the atmospheric air is drawn within the body. Okay, and the expiration is a process in which the alveolar air is released out of the body into the atmosphere. So for the instance I'll be going through that the inspiration is basically from the atmosphere to the body. Okay, from the atmosphere to the body, it is the inspiration, and the expiration will be somehow from the body to the atmosphere. Okay, deal with the case now. Here, the movement of air in and out of the lungs is carried out by creating a pressure gradient. By creating a pressure gradient between the lungs and the atmosphere. Between the lungs and the atmosphere. Deal with. Now, if I'll be going through the case, please do remember one thing. What does the law of concentration says? What does the law of concentration says? So basically, the law of concentration says that everything flows from its higher concentration to the lower concentration. Okay, the law of concentration says that everything flows from its higher concentration to the lower concentration. Deal with. Now, the inspiration can occur if the pressure within the lungs, that is called as intrapulmonary pressure. That is called as intrapulmonary pressure. Whenever the pulmonary word is coming, please keep in mind that we are dealing with the lungs, and intra means within. So basically this pressure is within the lungs. Intrapulmonary pressure within the lungs. Okay, deal with. So whenever the intrapulmonary pressure is less than the atmospheric pressure, it is less than the atmospheric pressure, then only the negative pressure in the lungs with respect to the atmosphere will be coming. So basically everything flows from its lower higher concentration to the lower concentration. So if the pressure which is present in the lungs is lower than the atmosphere, so ultimately like the air will be flowing from the atmosphere towards the lungs. That is the reason if there is a negative pressure in the lungs with respect to the atmosphere, and ultimately in the opposite direction the expiration will take place whenever the intrapulmonary pressure whenever the intrapulmonary pressure is higher than the atmospheric pressure. So whenever the pressure of the air in the lungs is higher than the atmosphere, the air will flow from the lungs to the atmosphere. That is called as expiration. And whenever the pressure in the lungs is lower than the atmosphere, the air will flow from the atmosphere to the lung. That is called as inspiration. So deal with the case. Okay. Huh. Now, the diaphragm and a specialized set of muscle. The diaphragm and a specialized set of muscle that is called as the external and internal intercostal muscles. They are called as external and the internal intercostal muscles which are present between the ribs. They are responsible for helping in the generation of the pressure gradient. They are responsible for helping in generation of pressure gradient. Now basically our diaphragm is muscular dome shaped structure which is present in the thoracic cavity just below the lungs. Okay, so basically the lungs are covered somehow like in the from the posterior region they are covered by the diaphragm, from the ventral region they are covered by the sternum, from the dorsal one they are covered by the vertebral column, and rather from the lateral region they are covered by the ribs. So deal with the case now. Here, so inspiration is initiated by the contraction of the diaphragm. Inspiration is initiated by the contraction of the diaphragm, which increases the volume of the thoracic chamber. Whenever this is the shape of the, like this is a normal relaxed shape of the diaphragm, and this is a contracted shape of the diaphragm, or rather I'll be going for something like this. So please deal with like whenever like the pressure will be coming in this fashion, it will be contracted, and now again it will be going under the relaxation phase of this fan. Okay, deal with now. So whenever the contraction of the diaphragm is taking place, by the contraction of the diaphragm which increases the volume of the thoracic chamber, in the anterior-posterior axis. Please deal with the case from the anterior-posterior axis. So basically, whenever the diaphragm is switching the position to this will be increasing. This will be increasing the volume of the thoracic chamber by anterior-posterior axis. And whenever the external intercostal muscles are lifting up the ribs and the sternum, they will be changing the dorsoventral axis volume. They will be changing the dorsoventral axis volume, something like this. Okay, so deal with like the in all the directions. So this anterior posterior, this is the anterior posterior one. This one, the anterior posterior one is caused by the diaphragm. It is caused by the diaphragm. And this dorsoventral, this one, this is the dorsoventral. This dorsoventral is caused by the external intercostal muscles, which are lifting up the ribs and the sternum. Okay, which are causing the increase in the volume of the thoracic chamber in the dorsoventral axis. Okay, we'll be going through the diagram as well. Here, check it out. So the diaphragm is getting contracted. The diaphragm is getting contracted here, correct? Here. So whenever the diaphragm is getting contracted, the anterior posterior volume and the size of the thoracic chamber is getting increased, whereas the ribs and the sternum are getting raised, which means like they are increasing the dorsoventral axis. So ultimately they are increasing the volume of the thoracic chamber by all four means, something like this as well and something like this as well. I can draw the arrows in this fashion. Okay, deal with. Now what will happen hence? So whenever the overall increase in the thoracic volume will occur, that will be causing a similar increase in the pulmonary volume. Correct? Whenever we are increasing the complete here like the volume, we will be increasing the pulmonary volume. And whenever the pulmonary volume has been increased, it will be decreasing the intrapulmonary pressure. Correct? It will be decreasing the intrapulmonary pressure, which is within the pressure, the pressure of the air within the lungs. So if the pressure has been decreased, to the less than the atmospheric pressure, what does the law of concentration says? Everything flows from its higher concentration to the lower concentration. So basically, it will be forcing the air from outside to move into the lungs. This is what we call as the inspiration. This diagram is for the inspiration. Deal with. Now, the relaxation of the diaphragm and the intercostal muscle. The relaxation of the diaphragm and the intercostal muscle returns to the diaphragm and sternum to their normal position and reduce the thoracic volume. And thereby it will be reducing the pulmonary volume as well. And whenever the pulmonary volume has been reduced, it will be increasing the intrapulmonary pressure. And ultimately, whenever the intrapulmonary pressure has been decreased, whenever the intrapulmonary pressure has been increased, it will be more than, even slightly, but still more than the atmospheric pressure. And whenever the intrapulmonary pressure has been more than the atmospheric pressure, again the law of concentration will be working, but in the different fashion. Now it will be causing the expulsion of air from the lungs. That is what we call as the expiration. This will be observing here in the figure number next. Here. So here what is happening? Basically, the diaphragm is getting relaxed again from here, and the ribs and the sternum are returned to the original position. So somehow like the volume of the thoracic cavity has been lower now. And what will happen here? This will be causing the air to leave the lungs, So here, now we have the ability to increase the strength of the inspiration and the expiration with the help of the additional muscles in the abdomen as well. Even with the abdominal, like the abs muscle are also helpful in the inspiration and the expiration, or rather I'll be going through forceful inspiration and the expiration. On an average, our breathing rate, the healthy human breathes 12 to 16 times per minute. This is our breathing rate, or rather I'll be being very much specific. It's 12 breath per minute. The volume of air involved in breathing movement can be estimated by using a spirometer, which helps in clinical assessment of pulmonary functions. Okay, deal with. Now, for a brief review, if I'll be going through the complete respiration in just a single case, I'll be saying that whenever the contraction of diaphragm is taking place, it will be increasing the thoracic volume by means of antero-posterior axis, means this. Okay, whenever the diaphragm is getting contracted, it will be increasing the thoracic volume by means of antero-posterior axis. Then the external intercostal muscle will be lifting up the ribs and the sternum, and it will be increasing thoracic volume by means of dorsoventral axis, by means of dorsoventral axis. And this increase in the volume of the thoracic cage, it will be increasing the pulmonary volume, and ultimately it will be decreasing the intrapulmonary pressure. And whenever the intrapulmonary pressure has been decreased, the outside or the atmospheric air will be coming into the lungs. This was all about the inspiration. And whenever I'll be going through the expiration, what will happen in the expiration? Again, that the relaxation of the diaphragm, and whenever the relaxation of the diaphragm, that the decreased volume of the thoracic cage by means of anterior posterior axis, then the internal intercostal muscle will be coming into action, and they will be making the ribs and the sternum return to the original position, which means like the decreased thoracic volume by dorsoventral axis as well, which will be decreasing the pulmonary volume. And if the pulmonary volume has been decreased, the intrapulmonary pressure will increase, and the air which is present in the lungs will be leaving the lungs towards the atmosphere. So this is the whole case of the inspiration and the expiration. Please do remember one thing, that the external intercostal muscles are responsible for the inspiration, whereas internal intercostal muscles are responsible for the expiration. Deal with the case. Hopefully this lecture has been beneficial for you guys. Thank you very much for your so much support. If you do have any kind of questions, you can ask me there in the comment section. I'm regularly going through the comments, and whatever the questions you guys are asking, I'm trying my best to give the best possible answer of those questions as well. Okay, thank you.